We're on the ocean. What's up, guys? Back with another video here. Today, we're going to be working on this 1995 WaveVenture jet ski once again. I know I've already posted a video on this thing, getting new spark plug boots on it and getting it running. That video did pretty well. So today, I'm planning on making this thing into the first 1995 WaveVenture fishing jet ski, or at least first that I've seen. I've looked it up, I haven't been able to find one. So what I'm planning on doing to this thing is getting some type of 3D printed cruise control mechanism mounted on the throttle here. Planning on making a PVC rack that hangs off the back to be able to hold my little igloo cooler, maybe some fishing poles, maybe even a 5-gallon bucket that I can put tackle in. Because I'm planning on doing a lot of firsts with this jet ski. I want to go spearfishing off this thing. I want to go trolling with this thing. I want to even maybe possibly one day in the distant future rip this bad girl from here to the Bahamas. So I want to start getting this thing outfitted with a bunch of different stuff. Maybe try it out the inlet first. But today the project is to get this igloo cooler right yonder mounted on the back. We want to make a little cage that's going to come around and it'll get bolted in through this handle here. I found out this handle has like a couple of screw holes in it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a PVC pipe like this one, drill some holes in it and mount it like that, and use a bunch of different fittings to make a cage here to hold that, and then maybe another cage for a 5-gallon bucket, and then we'll have rod holders with those bolts as well going up. So I'm pretty stoked about this. All right, so to start, we're gonna pop these caps out of this side and that side, and we're gonna take those bolts out and get this back handle off. I still haven't decided if I want to keep the handle on there. I think I do, just because it looks good with the contour of the seat. But first, we're gonna at least get those bolts out and see what we're working with. All right, well, it's now dark, but we have pieces, we have glue, we have a pipe cutter, we have everything we need. The pipe will stick out, come straight back by the cooler, come around, straight back, spaced out over there as well. And then down on the bottom, what I'll do is I'll have two T's that go down to 2 bars, and then I got these pieces here that will go down like this on the bottom. So the bottom will have 2 bars that go across. Anyways, I'm gonna mock it all up, put it together. Before I glue it, I'll show you guys, and then we'll glue it, get this thing mounted. All right, so we got a super rough mock up here. We got zip ties holding these here. I'm gonna have to put some heat to this, bend them down so they come like that and then come across, because this is kind of like angled up when the 2 bolts go in. But I'll worry about that tomorrow. So for right now, we got the zip ties there. We got the T here coming around to this way. And then we'll have we have this corner piece coming up. It'll tie in right there, and then this T right there. I'm gonna have to shorten this piece right here in the middle on both sides, so that way that T can tie in to right here. I'll put another T up here. So basically, I'm gonna have a T here with 2 poles going down, and then I'm not sure yet, I might have a piece sticking out here with a cap on it, just so it gives it a little extra support on both sides. So as of right now, it's kind of rough mocked. I'm gonna start cutting the pipe out of here and putting T's in here for the 2 on the back, and then we'll see where we go from there. But I'm glad I got the 20 set of T's, because right now I'm using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'm gonna put 2 more there and 2 more here. So I'm gonna be using a bunch of T's, but going along good. Oh yeah, also I got this freaking rod holder. I might either when this is spaced out with the bolts, mount it right here, because this might be stronger, or I might mount it here to these handles, because I don't use those handles ever, and that's kind of got a good angle on it, because I feel like I might not be able to get as much angle if I put it here. So see what happens. But we're definitely gonna have one there and one on the other side, because I have 2 of those. So they're either gonna go there or there. Not sure yet, but we'll see. All right, so we got all the side posts put in. Still just mocked up over there. And we got all the T's put in up here. So, and I even put the little stubs with the caps on it on both sides. But I think, as you can see in that little time lapse, it's able to come out the back. So I think I'm gonna have to try and get a bar to come around the back like this as a little extra support for the back of the cooler. Tomorrow we're gonna drill holes in this, heat this up and bend it to form properly. And oh yeah, I had this last piece here. It's got a threaded T-fitting, and my idea is to cut it and put it into right there, and it'll sit like that. And this hole right here, I don't know, maybe for when you're towing it, it's supposed to have this piece in here, but I took that out, and I thought that if I could get a threaded piece, I could just splice that in just like that. And this with thread, where is the threaded piece? Little threaded end on it with a flat. I thought I could stick it up through there, but as you can see, it's just too big. So I'll have to waller that hole out for now. But for now, I think what I'll do is I'll cut that out and put that on there so it sits and rests on that. So there's not any weight kind of torquing off the back of this, trying to pull all these connections and break. So I think for right now, we're just gonna go ahead and throw that in there, and then eventually I'll make that hole bigger and put that cap in there. So it'll be held on from there, and it'll be held on from there and there. All right, so I've scratched the idea of using a bar across, and I figured out a better idea. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a T, have it face this way, there, and then right on the other side of my name, because this cooler already had my name on it, it'll be a bar coming up, going T'ing right into there. So it'll be a T coming out, and a 90 coming straight up and T'ing into that. So that way I'll have two bars holding that on there. And then I also have to extend this backwards a little bit more, because it's touching the jet ski there, and I don't really want it rubbing a bunch there. It'll just wear a hole in the cooler and wear the jet ski. So I'm gonna try and get this whole thing shifted back a little bit. Then I'll make those two bars on the back, and then because it's shifted back more, I'll be able to take a bar and run it straight across here. So it'll have a bar on this side, 2 bars on the back, and yeah, so it should be pretty good. I won't be too worried about this gap here. Whatever, send it. This will be plenty good, plenty strong. So let's get to it. Okay, I think I've used, there was 20 in there, so 19 T-fittings so far. That's absurd. But we have our back supports now, perfectly cropped around my name. And so at first I was thinking, okay, I'll leave this gap here. That way the handle can go down in there. But on second thought, the handle kind of acts as like a spacer right here. So having it flipped over backwards kind of gives it the space here and here to kind of tighten that side-to-side play up. So that last T, I'm going to throw right there and throw one little piece in there so it'll act like a little stopper, just like that. So that way, I'm about to just kind of go over here, grab this bad boy, and drop it right back down in. Oh, I like how that goes. It's nice and easy, nice and smooth. Flips right back, and then that'll stop it from falling forward like that. And then tomorrow, we'll get a heat gun, bend these, bolt them in. Honestly, I might not even have to get spacers and space them out. I think when when I heat them up, I'll make it bend in and then bend along. So it'll kind of go in and down. So, and then tomorrow, everything will get some glue. This is going to be really tricky to glue. It's just a million pieces. But I'll figure it out. I'll do it section at a time. But I'm really happy with how that came out. That looks pretty dang good for a bunch of leftover pipe and $10 worth of fittings. So tomorrow we'll figure out what we're gonna do with the rod holders. But as of tonight, I'm calling it. Next time you see me, it'll be daytime. Just like that, daylight, movie magic. And I even started to test this out. So I got this heat gun here, and I had it on the hottest setting it could go. And I started to warm this pipe up, and as you can see right here, we got a nice little smooth bend going into it. No kinks in the corners. I didn't want any kinks because I still wanted it to be strong. So it's still warm to the touch. But so basically I just warmed it up here, started to bend it over, warmed it up here, started to pull it back until I got it lined up with those holes right there. I wanted a little tension on it, so when I push it down, it aligns. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that on the other side and be all set. And, in case any of you guys didn't know this, PVC, obviously, with heat, not right up on it because you don't want to burn the white unless you don't care about the color, but you keep the heat off of it just a little bit and you just work it back and forth until the pipe gets nice and warm, and you can actually bend it in whatever shape you want. So it's a nice little trick to know. Hopefully, the only thing I don't know is if this compromises its strength, but I guess we're gonna find out when this thing gets certain beat on the ocean. But I'll show you guys how it's done on this side, and then we'll run to the hardware store and get some longer bolts, some washers, and I think we'll be done. And we might even do a little sea trial today. The ocean might be a little too rough, but the intercoastal waterway should be no problem. Oh yeah, also look at that. Got the fishing rod holder mounted in there on both sides. I'm not sure if I like it because of how bouncy it is going on the ocean. I'm sure that's gonna just be bouncing like crazy. So once I get this done and bolted in, I'm gonna try and put the rod holders here and here and see how that looks. But yeah, all right, let's get to it. Also, this gun has a cold setting and a hot setting, so I'm able to go to cold and kind of help it cool down a little faster there. But that's done. So I was trying to put a little bit of pressure on this, so that way it's a little tight when I put the bolts in. But yeah, that lines up perfect on this side. A little bit of pressure, lines up perfect on that side. And I'll probably end up just getting 2 more caps like that, cutting this short, putting a cap on it so I don't scrape myself on the ends here. The only thing left to do other than put the new bolts in is going to be glue these 2 pipes in, because I glued everything up last night off camera using some PVC cement. So now all I got to do is get the new bolts in. Good morning. All right, we'll go to the store, get some bolts, be right back. So I found 4 screws that are 3 inches long, but these come with like a regular nut, and I would have to lock washer that. So I'm trying to find a lock nut, a nylon lock nut like that, but I can't find one that fits this bolt. I'll find it and I'll get back with you guys. All right, so we got nylon lock nuts, we got a bigger washer for the inside so it doesn't pull through, and we got a small washer for the outside on the PVC. Found it here, and there's a row. Got the bigger washers there and smaller washers up here. So I'm gonna go check out, buy these bad Johns, go back, bolt it in. See you there. All right, we're back. Got our bolts, get everything lined up. Just gonna go ahead and give it the old eyeball, you know. Drill a couple holes here and put the new bolts in. All right, so camera died, but while I charged it, I decided to continue on working, and I got the rod holders moved. I like that position a lot better. I'm not sure if I'll be able to troll with it there because I see maybe there's some flex when I pull on the rod. Plus the angle's weird and the rod might just do that. But at least I got rod holders now, so I can go fishing on the bridges and the inlet and whatnot. Yeah, bolts are done, rod holders are done, cooler is mounted. Got some big old bites. The only thing I gotta do now is when I went to the store and got these, I forgot to get caps. So I'm gonna cut these to length here on both sides, and then the next time I'm at the store, I'll just grab some caps. But for now, I think that will do it. That finishes the cooler, cage, and rod holder build for the jet ski. More to come on this thing, but for today, I'm gonna go ahead and test this out. We're gonna go fishing, and got some bait in the freezer. We got some sand fleas and some shrimp. All right, we're at the boat ramp. Jet ski is loaded in the water, and I gotta say, it looks pretty sweet. Super happy with how that came out. Rods, just a little bit spread open a little bit. Got the fuel tank topped off, oil tank topped off, and yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and go out the Boca Inlet, see if we can find ourselves a couple little patch reefs up close to the beach. I'm not trying to go too far out. Only got, what is it? I think it's like 5 o'clock, or it's almost 4:30, so we only got like 3 or 4 hours of daylight, so gonna make the best of the day here. Working good. Well, we made it. We're on the ocean. We're on the ocean. The cooler hasn't broken off yet. And the rods are getting soaked with salt water, but you know what? That's all right. You can always wash them off. I was really worried this one was gonna bounce out just because I got the sinker on it, but it was fine. The waves rolling in. Definitely a little wavy out, but you know what? We'll run down to the deer field here and try and go get some fish. Lost the hook came off. You know what? That sketches me out. I'm gonna go ahead and grab the pliers. Go ahead and cut that thing off because I do not want that sitting around hooking me in the back. did not go as planned. I got out the inlet. I don't know if the GoPro picked it up yet. I'll have to look it over. But I got out the inlet and the weight fell off this one rod and it started flicking around. So I stopped to cut the weight off and put it in my bag and keep on going. And well, I went to start it back up and it was like, it was real slow. It was probably it was turning over at about half speed. It didn't want to fire right back up. So I had to give it some gas to fire it back up, and I didn't like that. So I immediately went straight back into the sandbar right there at Lake Boca. And when I got in Lake Boca, I shut it off. I actually didn't have to shut it off. I let go of the gas and it just died. So I'm sitting there checking it out with this guy named Logan, who's a Yamaha mechanic. Luckily, I literally parked next to a Yamaha mechanic, funny enough. But I got out there and I started checking over everything, looking at the oil lines, hoping I need to just blow one of the cylinders, looking at the carbs and looking at the gas. And then I realized the vent line for the gas tank goes into this little tube so the water doesn't get into it. The tube was full of water. So I'm willing to bet we got a bunch of water in the gas tank. But it was running rough, running not right, and I got back to the canal here and ripped it down the canal, and now it kind of idles. Just shut off on me. And it was turning over slow. And Logan had said it's a possibility that if water got in one of the cylinders that it would turn over slower. So that was the problem. I think I just actually heard it turn over faster. So, well, that cut the day short. I think that's a sign from God. Hey, idiot, it's too rough out there. Get back in. So hopefully the jet ski's good. We'll look it over when we get back to the boat ramp. But that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Next video, maybe we'll actually go out and catch some fish. I never really catch fish, but you know what? We're gonna start trying. Cooler held up great, no problems there, and the rods didn't fall off, so I'm happy with that. But yeah, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.